Hey guys, welcome back to Weeb101, and it has already been 3 minutes since we started recording, and I have messed up by making sure my camera wasn't straight. So, that's that. Anyway, so Audi, our producer, has mentioned that I should mention our names,
Yes.
which I seem to keep forgetting.
Yes.
I'm Brew, that's our producer Audi, that's Sid right over there. I shall try to edit it in such a way that their faces show up when I say their names. I didn't do that last time.
Oh, I
but
see. It's okay.
no, I actually did. I actually did. Also, we have to mention our formats on Instagram, which we are doing 6 of them. I'm not going to explain all of them right now because I think we already did that, or we didn't, or we recorded it and didn't upload it. One of the two.
Just go
But,
watch
you
the
should
channel.
know by now. Watch our Instagram. Check out our Instagram page. Look at all that stuff.
Check out our
YouTube. We have a new one called Weeb101 Last Take. And we are going to be doing scripted content over there, unlike this podcast where we are basically just freestyling in the booth.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the main update. Also, we are on TikTok now. That's a platform that we never thought we'd be in. But we are on TikTok, and my camera is all zoomed in over here. But sorry, we are on TikTok. We have found moderate success already. In fact, we have 14 subscribers. Oh, sorry, I actually got roasted for saying subscribers on TikTok by this little kid.
Yeah, you did. But yeah, we are doing pretty
like he's
well.
an actual kid who might be like 10 years old came and roasted me for saying subscribe
That
on
was
TikTok.
funny.
I've never felt like a
Highlight of
boomer
the day.
in my life except for that time. But yeah, follow us on TikTok if you have TikTok. If you are Indian, then well, sucks to be you. We are Indian, but we have friends in multiple countries. We have a friend in the US, Mr. V. We have a friend in Korea, Mr. P, and we have a friend in Japan, Mr. N. And the three of them help us upload videos together.
Yes,
So we send it to
exactly.
them, and they upload it.
Yep.
Mr. V, P, and N. So. Yeah, so TikTok, we have 14 subscribers. Oh my god, 14 followers.
We're doing very well.
Yes.
That's our peak, by the way. If you all didn't
Yeah,
know.
that's our peak,
Yeah.
and YouTube has 22. This is actually subscribers.
24 now.
After 24 subscribers after like months of doing it, and TikTok we've been there for like a week, and we already have a lot of people ready to talk about us. In fact, someone even came and said first on TikTok in Japanese, and someone said first on YouTube. If you guys are going to comment, can you please at least comment something
Yeah,
that we can
please.
reply to instead
Yeah.
of first? Side note. Thank you. Well, I think that's all for the updates part of this. Am I forgetting anything? No, I don't think,
it's
so.
That's
covered
it.
it so far, yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be it. And we can get started with today's episode, which is going to be... Sid, what is it going to be?
Today, we're going to talk about What a Wonderful World, or Subarashii Sekai by Inio Asano, or as Audi called it, Sekseki Sekai.
No,
by Inio Asano.
Shinseki Sekai. Shinseki Sekai.
Whatever, but yeah, that's what we're going to be talking
why
about.
does Audi call
No,
it
see,
that?
Y'all-
I thought
I
the
don't know, you
name,
just made a
I kind
mistake.
of confused Subarashi with Shinseki. I'm not sure why. Some sort,
Yeah.
it reminded me of some
It's
other
just
manga
his
name, and I was
head.
like, Shinseki Sekai. That kind of stuck for like 3 days. Until on call, so it was like, nah, that's Subarashi Sekai. I'm like, shit.
Yeah. Also, y'all may know Inio Asano because he's the mangaka for a very popular series called Oyasumi PunPun. And this is one of his earlier works. It's like a collection of short stories, and Brew will tell you what it is about. Get started. Oh my god.
Now, if you don't know what Subarashii Sekai is about, it is a precursor to PunPun, so to speak. If you have read PunPun and you are alive right now, well, hats off to you because I couldn't finish PunPun.
Well,
But if PunPun affected you in the way it affected me, which made you
It's
made you
amazing.
ponder about life and what it is that we're doing here and about your uselessness in life, don't read this manga. Personal recommendation. These two, don't listen to them. Don't read this manga. You can
yeah.
save yourself.
Yeah, I too
from the
question what is
existential
Weeb101
crisis
while
that will
reading this.
arise
Yes, I will say
from
that.
it. In fact, before starting this podcast, I wanted to be like, what is this podcast? What is Weeb101? Welcome back. But what
Hey,
is
still read it. Be
Weeb101?
affected. It's fun. That's what I'll say.
It's
So
a
you can listen
one-of-a-kind
to who you want.
experience,
But
yes.
yeah, Brew, what is
Yes.
Subarashi
So do not
Sekai?
read it if you can be affected by such stuff. Anyway. Sorry. My.
Well, it's
mic
going
just died
well.
for a second. Sorry.
We're crashing pretty
sorry,
early
sorry,
in the
hold on.
podcast.
No, we're not crashing. It's just that we might have had some technical issues with my audio.
Yeah.
But anyway, Subarashii Sekai is a collection of short stories, and each one is loosely connected to the other. In fact, there is a chart that Sid showed me today, which shows how each person in the manga, how each person is related to the other, and it is quite. It's like a web of people who are connected, and it is quite insane. I mean, that guy must have gone through like an insane amount of work to actually connect everybody, and then he was like, you know what? How can I make people want to kill themselves in the most efficient way possible?
My God.
And he decided to come up with this manga right here. So, I'm actually surprised because I would like to know what Audie thought of it,
Oh.
because I expected Audie.
Yeah.
Out of the three of us to be the first one to be like, yep, I'm done, I'm going to kill
No.
myself. But it turned out to be
Yeah.
me instead. So Audie actually, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about, I actually haven't finished it because I'm too weak to read such stuff. It's like...
Brew has a lot of...
Better to avoid
Brew
it.
has mental issues he's dealing with, so he's trying not to make it worse for himself, basically.
Yes,
Yes.
if you have mental issues, if you have depression and anxiety,
Yes.
From having
whatever,
read PunPun
whatever
earlier,
like
it
that.
seems to have fucked you up
Just-
even worse than this. So
Yes, do not read this. I am telling you, from one depressed person to another.
I
just
mean-
don't.
Yeah.
But these two are in denial about their mental issues, so
I
they
loved it.
aren't as
Yes.
affected.
It was
apparently,
amazing. I
yes.
enjoyed the whole thing.
yeah,
It is said that the more mentally unstable you are, the more you love such content.
Sure.
So I guess that makes a lot of
I'll
sense.
take that. Yeah, that's me right here.
So Sid is like the
Yeah.
worst one of all, and then there's Audie, and then there's me on the between the line of sanity and insanity, and these two are far gone. So Audie, how come you weren't affected?
Yeah. I
How
wouldn't
come
say I
you
wasn't-
seem to have some hope for
I
life
wouldn't say I
afterwards?
wasn't so mentally like broken by, because you once you read PunPun, we came on call and you were just in a whole different mood, right? And that's kind of what I expected after reading this. But I just felt I enjoyed the series. It had good art. It had good insight into the lives of regular people in a somewhat small city, and considering the
Regular people.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
yes,
like,
of course.
regular to some degree,
Totally.
but then
yes.
you know, after having read the stories, I just kind of felt sad at certain points, like fuck, shit like this happens way too often, and I could relate to it, but then I just felt way too sad after that. It was not like mentally breaking me or anything. I just I just laid down, just looked up into the ceiling, and just pondered upon the setting of the manga. It's like, man, it's depressing, yes, for lack of a better word. And again, I wasn't like changed by the experience, but then I just found it.
Audie clearly did not read through the whole thing properly because he is not changed by the experience. You will know
Yeah.
if you read this that you will be changed to the core because of certain thing. It'll almost seem as if this guy took a look at your life and he was like, how can I
Exactly.
make this person feel like this is about them? And
That's what he
how
did,
wrote
yeah.
it. In fact, if you haven't seen Space Brothers or read Space Brothers, that is a manga where my life was looked at and the main character was molded after me. We have discussed this at length in our Space Brothers episode.
Way
You
too
should
close
check
a
it out.
relation.
We have a couple
Yeah.
of reels about it. But yeah, I mean, it's like that with this one as well. In fact, there is one particular story about a guy called Syrup.
Syrup.
Who is obsessed with cough syrup. Now, firstly, I used to love cough syrup when I was a kid. I was telling
Yes,
Sid,
he used to.
once I became almost mental after having a
Wait,
whole bottle of cough syrup in one day. My
you
mom-
were addicted to what?
Oh, he has no idea. Yes, Brew was a...
No, I wasn't addicted. I was a kid, so I didn't really know what addiction
Brew was a
So what happened was my mom gave me a bottle of cough syrup when I was ill, and she told me keep it by your side and take a cap full after every meal. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. Except I really like the taste of the cough syrup because it was like
For the
orange
people who don't
flavored
know,
cough syrup.
he's talking about Benadryl specifically.
Oh, it's fucking
Yeah.
Benadryl, huh?
Yeah, if
Okay.
you're
It's very popular as a drug. You continue.
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, but I was a kid. I had no idea that Benadryl was even a drug. And it has a nice orange flavor. And for anyone who knows me, orange flavors are like
Yes.
they are my drugs. I like anything in an orange flavor. Ice cream's orange flavored. Ice candy's orange flavored. Tic Tacs orange
I
flavored.
have witnessed this guy down 5
flavor.
orange ice candies like it's fucking
Yeah,
nothing.
everything orange. He
Yes.
even likes orange flavored condoms, as we found in his room.
Yes.
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 Well,
This podcast
Yes.
is safe.
Yes, it is.
Please sit, please. We do not say such things here. And we do not call out people's personal lives to that extent. But yes,
Hey, you love orange flavored
everything.
things.
Shut up! Orange flavored everything. And basically, instead of taking a capful after every meal, I took like a couple of mouthfuls after every meal, thinking I have a cough. If I take extra cough syrup, I'll be fine faster. Except what happened was I went into like this drunken state because my little mind was too affected by such strong medication, and my mom actually thought I had lost it. She thought I had actually broken and I went mad, and she was really worried for a while because I was blabbering and I was screaming and all that stuff, and she was like, oh my god, the fever went to his brain. I am so scared right now. I need to rush him to a doctor. And then she looked at the bottle of cough syrup and she's like, this idiot drank almost half of it in half a day. And then I ended up drinking it anyway after her warnings because I'm a...
bit of an idiot, yes, as she called it out.
Yes. And well, I can relate to syrup quite a bit. If my mother had not taken that bottle away from me, I probably would have been drinking cough syrup through my life to, instead of Monster and coffee like I do now.
But in
So that
In
was
comparison
relatable.
to
Monster,
syrup-
please
And then there was
sponsor
a-
us, Monster. Brew loves it. Continue.
Oh my god, yeah. Monster, I'm not kidding. Just today, I had a can of Monster. One guy asked me why I drink Monster and not Red Bull or Sting or something like that. I sat with him. I sat and explained for half an hour why Monster
Yes.
was better. In the end, I gave him a bit of my Monster to taste it, and he said it was good. I said, you have now fallen into the rabbit hole. Welcome.
My
And I left.
god.
an
So,
apostle of Monster itself.
Please,
yes.
Monster, Discord, Telegram, Razor. You guys, you owe me. You owe me already.
Yeah.
Okay, please.
Monster.
Anyway.
Check out our Monster podcast episode. Continue.
Yes, Joe.
Yes.
Nice segue.
Yeah.
Okay, I was saying you
Yes.
don't.
So
Okay, I wouldn't say you would relate that well to syrup because you were a kid who was high on a fever at the time, and you.
He's more like the guy with the camera, I would say. But yeah.
yeah, I'm getting
Yeah.
to that, guys. Chill. I'm just saying I can relate to syrup. I'm not saying
He
I
can
am
relate to
syrup.
syrup's
But
addiction.
yes.
well, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and then there's a guy with a camera.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you guys have seen me. You haven't, but at one point I used to be like this. Okay, except with this removed because okay, I'm not an idiot. Okay, I'm not an idiot. It's just that I used to love taking photos. I used to love taking videos. I had dreams of being a filmmaker, and then I happened to chance upon this guy in my early days. Right after my initial schooling, I went to Japanese class and I met this absolute asshole called Siddharth Sinha. And,
You said my full name. Thanks. What the fuck?
It shall be bleeped out.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
edit it
please.
out.
Yeah.
I met this guy called
Yeah.
Sid, and he met this guy who taught him good animation apparently, and then taught him about good movies, and then he told him about Kubrick, and then he told me about Kubrick, and then I watched Kubrick films, and I stopped
He gave up on
shooting
filmmaking.
videos.
He's like, fuck, I can't compete with this shit.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? It doesn't make
Not
sense.
the dose of reality
No.
you wanted, huh?
Can't do it.
We are not that it doesn't matter. We'll never be that good. You'll never be that good. That's what bro was thinking. Very similar to the syrup
Yeah.
story. But yeah, those are
like-
the exact
like-
words he was saying.
Like, I'm all talk. I want to do something big with direction, but then, well, can I? Is that even possible? And then and I read this manga, and this guy sitting with this camera, like, oh, I'm just talk. I suck. I know that I suck. I'm
yeah.
like,
Oh, that hurts.
this guy, this mangaka, he's a real little bitch, isn't he? Is he still alive?
Of course.
I
Yeah,
bet
he's
he
very
is,
young.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta at him for this. I'm gonna send him all my medical bills,
Oh my
my
God.
psychiatrist and my medicine. And I'm gonna be like, listen, I was doing fine. I was almost out of this. My psychiatrist was like, yo, come back for one more session, and then we're done. And then the next time I went over after reading your manga, she told me to come back for the next 5 years. So that 5 years and the extra emotional damage
That's
is what
one
he
way
owes
to
I
get
me.
think you
instantly
should blame
blocked.
me for that.
Yeah, that too.
I'm the one who
Yes,
tricked
I
you
can.
into.
See, I would blame you, but then you don't have as much money as he does. So
That's true.
I would much rather blame him and get the money from him than blame
Oh yeah,
you and have you
there's
tell
more
me to suck it
chance
up
of
and deal
him
with it.
reading your message. Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. Compared to you, if I sent you an email saying, something like recompense for emotional
Yeah.
damage, you would probably delete it without even.
Yeah, it'd be
opening.
like, what
Or
is-
you probably wouldn't even.
Dude, don't worry.
You probably would just
your
ignore
emails
it.
just go to my spam folder. Don't worry.
Exactly. So I have a better chance of going to the author for sure, rather than going to Sid. But yeah, it has such stuff. It has people, little kids who have big dreams of becoming rock stars. And you know what? Everybody. Okay, I don't know why I'm waving a knife around right now. This is just. You should watch our last episode where we talked about.
Yes,
Banana
it's
fish,
just
and you will understand why I have become a more violent and aggressive person in general. But I wave this knife around now. Deal with it, guys. It's my new.
it's just
thing,
a cheese knife
Yeah.
for those who are threatened.
Hey, you don't need to let them know
Hey,
that.
I need to make you.
I'm a badass, guys. This is actually a shiv. I made it in prison when I was caught
That's
for.
one way of getting cancelled. Yes.
Being the
Murder.
nicest person I know. Yes. Continue.
Yes, murderer was escaping and he was like, "Hey, get out of my way!" I was like, "Yes, sir, please, I'm
Yeah.
sorry." And then they were like, "He's too nice.
Lock
him up, boys."
Can't be so nice nowadays.
But yeah, okay. So the skids with who want to be rock stars. This is also something that's very
Yeah.
relatable, especially in India, because as we were growing up, as this generation and the previous generation were growing up, Western music started coming into India
definitely.
at a crazy rate.
Especially when we were
Before
in
we
school.
had-
Yeah, that's like when it started coming. Like I had never heard Western
Yeah,
music
exactly.
until in school. I was like, ooh,
Exactly.
Linkin Park and Eminem, all this shit started coming into India when we were in school. SOAD.
So weirdly, before
Yeah.
that, okay. So now Indians are heavy into classical music, South Indians especially. My entire family has South Indian classical music training, except for me.
Wow.
Whether it's instruments or whether it's vocals, they have something. Except for me, I'm the black sheep of the family over there. But I mean, my singing voice is beautiful. If you would like me to sing something, but
Please.
I can't play instruments at all. And my dad actually helped organize events for the South Indian YMCA project where they were getting like this thing,
Sure.
classical music, and he had done a lot of events and stuff like
Okay.
that, and so the music was like a part of my life as I was growing up. But then this particular teacher in my school, when I was in like second or third
Oh,
grade,
very young.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
grade so that everyone else will get it. Yeah, he was a Christian who came from who had gone to America or something. He had just come from somewhere foreign, and he had the Beatles. He was the one who introduced me to Lemon Tree.
Oh, Lemon Tree.
And
yeah.
he used to play all these things for us. He used to play all of them
Yeah.
for us, and he would be like, "Okay, listen, I can't give you the lyrics because it's not in the school's syllabus, so I can't really give you the lyrics. But get the lyrics at home. You can Google it. Here's how you
Yeah.
Google it. Here's how you print it. Bring them, and we'll sing it." And a few of us got so excited that we printed it for the others in the class as well, and we passed them along, and we were all singing Lemon Tree, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is a shit." And then I grow up more, and then you have Linkin Park, and then you again, as you said, you
Yeah,
have
all that
SOAD,
stuff.
you have,
Yeah.
you have Green Day, you have all these guys, and then at that point, there was a friend of mine who used to shit on all of
Yeah.
them, okay, or he used to collectively shit on all of them and be like, you guys don't know what real music is. Metal is the real music. I was like, what the hell is metal?
I see.
I've never heard of this metal. What is metal? Tom, tom, tom. Like, yes, go metal. Here is metal. And then I was like, Metallica. I was like, oh, Metallica,
Yeah.
good. It's like Iron Maiden. I was like, oh,
Good.
Iron Maiden, good. And then he went off to some like insane metal bands, like proper thrash metal, dark metal. I was like, yo, I'm
were
out
like
of that.
out.
That I cannot. No. That's too much. Sorry. And then from there it just went on to Queen,
Yeah,
Pink Floyd, all that.
Yeah, natural progression.
Yeah, no, and all through that you want that fame, you want that lifestyle. You're like,
Yep.
yes, I too will be a musician. I too will play the guitar. I too will sing. And you try.
You try.
And then within a few months, you're like,
No, not happening.
not gonna work, sir.
Yeah, I think we both were taking class at the same time because see,
Yeah.
even I grew up in like a Catholic school, like a Christian school. My parents sent me there too, and they used to make us sing like all these Christian songs and English songs. And that time I saw it more as a school thing, so I used to sing it, but I wasn't interested because like, hymns. I don't really care. I don't want to do this. I don't want to.
The hymns are my jam.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really want to sing at 6 o'clock in the morning. I just want to chill and talk to my friends. But later in school, when we were introduced to like alternative rock that came into India at that time, it was like very exciting, and I got into the same thing, because most people, at least our age, went through the same thing. Even Audi can relate. We started listening to all these different bands, and then you keep moving towards classic rock, and then like, bro, we both hadn't met that time, but even I was like, I want to learn music.
Yeah, we
and
hadn't.
I started learning drums, and even Bruce started learning drums, on his own. And yes, our dreams were soon crushed after that, but yeah, we did pursue music
I tried
actively.
learning fucking
I-
piano or keyboard actually.
You know why dreams get crushed sometimes? Sid had a horrible foot injury.
Yeah,
and
I
if
did.
it wasn't for that, guys, I am telling you,
I did have a foot injury.
Sid would still be
My
in the
heel.
exact same
Yeah.
place in life.
I
right
almost
now.
got into I was in my college band for a short while, you know that, right? Before the foot injury.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it made such an amazing zero difference in his life.
Zero
it's not
difference.
even funny.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Well, I skipped a lot of classes. That's the difference it made. And I had to repeat a year
Yes,
because
that's
of
true.
that.
Yeah, he failed
Yeah.
his exams.
Didn't give my exams. More like.
You admitted it. You said yeah right now, so cool. Audi, what did you say?
I also tried to get into like piano and keyboard, but after a certain point, I just kind of lost interest because there was nobody else in my group who was interested into music, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm the only one." And I had the mentality of I'm the only one doing this cool thing, but no one's doing it, so maybe it's uncool. But then a few weeks back, I got news that my cousin brother got accepted into a college with scholarships for 8th grade piano. And apparently that's a very hard thing to do. So it also, this whole instrument thing kind of involves your parents having to enable you as well and kind of help you out and kind of be like, what you're doing is actually pretty fucking cool. Your friends also kind of help you out. So maybe, who knows, if you had friends that kind of played along with you, and if your parents were actually into not metal per se, but then more Western music, maybe you could have had a path in music, a career in music.
No, had all that actually. I asked my dad for a guitar. He came down. He was like, "Son, you know what? I'm going to believe in you. I'm going to buy you a guitar." I was like, "Holy shit!" Yes, Dad. Buy me an electric guitar, Dad. He's like, "No, I'm not going to believe in you that much. I'm going to buy you a normal acoustic guitar." I was like, "Dad, electric or nothing?" He's like, "Okay, cool, nothing." I'm like, "Dad, please, no. I take the acoustic, please." And he got me an acoustic guitar.
I remember this.
He had a chat with my teacher before that. And then I was like, okay, cool. You know what? I have an acoustic guitar for now. In a few months, I am going to be such a god on this guitar that he will have no choice but to get me an electric.
Yeah.
And within 3 months, 3 easy, simple months, I was still stuck on the first step.
Yes.
Yeah, he still is. And even I remember.
And after that, for the next 1 year, I was still stuck on the same step.
Well, he still is. But I think even with your drum classes,
No, then I changed classes.
yeah,
then I
but
changed
with that
classes,
also, you were like,
and then,
I never got to play. I just used to sit and wait for my
no,
turn.
we don't know. I changed classes to my guitar
Okay,
classes.
okay.
When I changed my guitar classes, I actually got past the first step within the first week because I practiced
Right.
this time
Ah.
at home. And after that, I even went to the next and next and next and next until I went to chords, and then I went to power chords, and then I completely gave up after power chords.
Because it was too hard. Or
That's where you were like Aukat ke bahar hai.
Okay.
Yeah, at power chords, I was like, I have met my
Yeah.
match. This is How do you play? Because you need to hold one finger, putting pressure on all the strings, and then you need to. So basically, this is like this, and you need to. I don't even know what you do to get the other fingers to touch the right points, and then you have to go. Bram, bram, bram. I'm like, oh, I am done. No. That is not possible. Sorry.
Yes.
My fingers don't bend that way. My fingers normal, not dislocated.
But yes.
And then my teacher shows me the side of his finger, and he's like, "Yo, touch this. Look at this. It's like a wall over here. It's like so rugged over here." I'm like, "Is that really something you want? Is that what you show off about?" Like,
Well, I think,
That's
when
your
we get
point,
older,
like-
and it kind of makes sense that they would want to show off something like that because it's like a sign of an aged musician.
but yeah. And as Sid said, I did go to my drums class, but I wasn't allowed on the drums because the first time, so it was supposed to be like every child gets their turn, and everyone had to do the drum pads
the
till then,
practice on
which you had to get.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then the first time I went to the drums itself, I couldn't hit the bass drum, and he was like, okay, you know what? Use your foot as if you're squashing a bug. I was like, okay, I can do that, and I squash a bug by stomping on it.
This guy.
So I stomped on it, and it didn't move. He's like, how do you squash a bug? I was like, stomp. He's like, no, not a stomp. You need to squish it. I was like, okay. I use the back of my foot. I'm like, it's not squishing. He's like, no, the front of your foot and squish
Squash
it.
a
I
bug
was like,
is
okay.
a pretty bad
And then-
example, I would say, because everyone, even I stomp.
Right?
Yeah. He shouldn't have said
Right?
that. Yeah, he should have just said use the front part
Yeah, I
of your
think-
foot. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that so much simpler?
My God, this
Use
guy.
the front of your
Yeah.
foot to push down, and you're
Yeah.
done. You explained it perfectly. But then he's like, use the front, and as if you're squashing a bug. I was like, okay. And then I was like, he's like, see, so simple. I'm like, yeah, just tell me that I need to squash it like this.
Man,
and
he
he was
was-
like, yeah, now
He
do
was
it
dead
again.
set
I
on
was
this bug squishing thing, huh?
Bro, if there was a bug like us, I would have jumped on the fucking
Yeah, I know,
drum
right?
set too,
Any
especially
kid
if it
would
was
look
a
at the bug
spider.
and like, I want to
And
squish it.
here's the thing, here's the kicker.
Huh?
Here's the kicker. After all that, I figured out how to use the drum. I was running out of
Kicker,
time. Okay?
hey,
He was
hey.
like, okay, you don't have much time, so you need to play this once or twice, and then you have to go. I was like, okay. And then I realized the biggest problem with drums. While I'm using my foot to control one drum, I have to follow a basic.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that, and my brain was like, what?
Operations fucking
And-
stopped, huh?
And I was just like, what is going on? What is this confusion? Okay, it is just tuck, 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 dish, tuck, 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 dish. I'm like, okay, makes sense. And then I started like tuck, 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 tuck.
Hey, you got the basic beats like the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you just had to follow that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah, exactly. I could follow it perfectly on my drum pad. I'm like, and I go to the drums. I'm like, and that's it. That's it. My drums
Ended, yeah.
right there. He was like, you know what? You just go back to where you were sitting. I will call you in later, and then he never called me
Right.
back.
Well, makes it. Yeah, so
Back.
Weirdly, after he watched me improve with my drum pad, one day when we were talking, I was hanging behind helping them close shop and all that because I was being a nice boy like I usually am, and he looked at me. He looked at the teacher. He's like, this guy is actually going to become the next good drummer of this place. I forgot the name, and then I was like, I think I misheard him, or he must be joking or something. He's like, no, I'm serious. You're actually going to become the next best drummer if you actually put your skills to the drums. I'm sure you'll become the best drummer. I was like, hey, by the way, when do I get to sit on the drums again? He's like, yeah, this time. Don't worry.
yeah, this time,
Just
So
this
time.
it was
time.
just encouragement. It was like, yes, you can do
And
it
Drew
if
was
you
like,
tried
"Ah."
hard enough. Yes.
Yeah. Brew was waiting there. He's like, yes, I will be the next John Bonham. Yes, I will become popular.
Yes. Yes. And John Bonham was a pretty good inspiration
Yes,
at that
he
time.
definitely-
Because I was like, stairway to heaven, and then he's like, doom, doom, doom. I'm like, oh, that's the shit.
I want to
And
do
then-
that.
Yeah, and then I was like, I can't even do the I was like, nah, I can't do it. Gave up being a drummer very
yeah.
quickly, gave up being a guitarist quickly, and then I was like, you know what, the one thing I can do, the one thing my whole family can do is sing. I'm going to sing, other people play the instruments, my brother knows like 6 instruments, I'm going to sing, make him play the 6 all at once if needed, and we'll make a song. And then
I don't think we need anything
started
after that.
smoking and I
I
lost
don't
my
think we
voice.
need anything after, and then you can stop there. I don't want to hear anything about your singing. We know it pretty well. We suffer almost every day.
no, my singing used to be good, and then kind of like,
It used to be good.
Yeah.
no, I am not kidding. Ask Audi.
Audi.
Okay, you sing,
Audi?
you do the fucking bathroom singing thing where you just sing on like a whim. Otherwise, there's never been a time where you actively like fucking give a performance.
I actively gave a
When?
performance in front of you in SIS.
And you liked
In the
it,
event?
Audi? Hey, is it you told me you sang, you butchered this thing, what's that Clapton song? You Look Wonderful Tonight. Yeah.
Wonderful Tonight, yeah.
You butchered it, you told me. Was that the one that Audi saw?
I think so. Wait,
Yeah.
was it Synosia?
Did you like it, Audi?
Which event was this? I don't even remember. I've seen it. Okay.
Sinosure.
Yeah, I don't remember
2013.
that at all.
No,
But considering that I don't
2012.
remember it, it's not that. It's,
No.
It
2010.
may not have
Audi, are
been
you
that
getting,
good.
11.
are
12.
you
12,
having
12. It was
PTSD
12.
from that event
Not
right now?
because I barely remember it. Okay.
I'm telling you, Audi said it was
that
nice.
was like
Hey,
the
bro,
one
I
time
thought-
it may have happened. But you know what? After this, you can perform once and
Hey,
we'll see.
I used to. Okay, I'm not going to say I can. I used to be able to sing well. Okay, then because of my throat, because of my own self-inflicted
Yes.
throat problems, my singing ability
Clearly.
went away.
Yes, that happened.
I can still sing. If you guys would like to see me sing on Weeb101, just put out a comment.
I'm
Don't.
out. I'm out for this. No, please don't.
We are actually planning one of our formats.
No, we are not.
We are
which,
not.
which was overwhelmingly decided against because of these two
Yes,
haters.
we are haters
which
for
was
this.
Weeb101 karaoke. But if you guys want me to do it, it shall be done. It shall be a thing.
Yes, Brew will
Sure,
sing
if Brew puts
on
his whole efforts
Weeb101
into
alone.
it, yes, he can.
He'll record it alone in a room and upload it, and I'll never watch it again. Yes, continue.
Anyways,
I've had enough.
Let's tie back this whole music
I'm kind of
segment
happy.
of ours into.
No, I'm kind of happy your singing dreams were crushed when it comes to this.
Why? If my singing had it gone bad, then you would have actually enjoyed my singing instead of
Maybe,
hating
maybe.
it.
Maybe. I'll say maybe. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But even that's a 50-50 maybe. That's not like a 70-30. So you know what? Fuck
yeah.
it. Maybe. But again,
That happens a lot. Yeah,
back
nostalgic.
to Subarashi Sekai.
Yeah, so that's the point. We all had
Yeah.
dreams about this. Audi had dreams about becoming a musician.
but yeah.
Okay, and it's not like it was just like a random dream. When I had this dream, I was absolutely convinced that I was going to be the next Freddie Mercury. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna play the guitar. And I'm gonna wow this crowd so bad. They're gonna want us to make an album right
Yeah.
now. And when I say make an album, I thought making an album was just you sitting with 3 other guys and being like, hey guys, what sounds good? Like town, town, town. Okay, let's write some songs for that, lyrics for that. Like, hey, town, town, town. The wall was white. I'm like, huh? That's
The
the
wall
song.
was
Okay,
white,
next
yeah.
song. I thought that was what making an album was about. You just write some lyrics, you just write some tunes, and then you play the tune and you sing at the same time, and you're done.
Apparently, that's what most music is nowadays. So yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. And that's how everyone
Yeah.
thought. That's how. And then there were some people who knew a little bit about the industry who immediately became the experts. Like the students who have an interest in music in general and they know a little bit extra about the behind the scenes. They became the experts. So it's like, hey, oh, how does this actually work? How does licensing work? And these guys who have no clue, they're like, oh, licensing. Oh, I can't even begin to explain licensing unless you understand all these things. And these guys are like, oh, wow, he knows so much. Wow. But we were all there. And this comic took me back to those days where he's sitting with his guitar.
Yeah.
He has that even the hair.
Yeah,
I actually went I actually went. I got hair gel the night before. I got
Damn.
hair gel. Okay. I tried it on like a pre this event experiment. I tried it on. It worked fine. I thought it looked good. The next day I got nervous. I put in a little extra too much hair gel. It was clearly visible that I put too much hair gel because my hair was spiky and like rock starry, and I was like, I am Chester Bennington right now. And none of you can stop me. And with all that with all that jazz, all that extra, features we added to ourselves to make us look more rock bandy, we ended up singing "Knocking on Heaven's Door."
Oh, I see.
So you have a group of wannabe punk-looking rock
young
stars who sing "Knock, knock, knocking
That's
on
very
heaven's
punk,
door."
yes. Very punk indeed.
And at the time, I thought it was the coolest shit. I was like, oh, I'm singing "Knock, knock, knock on Heaven's Door." And then now I look back, I'm like, oh my god, I was singing Dylan's song while dressed up like a wannabe Chester Bennington without even having any piercings, tattoos, or colored hair. I was like, oh.
Yes, that is true.
And that's what crushes your dreams, And that's what this bloody manga shows so well. It's like, oh, look at me. I have a big hairstyle. Oh, I have a mohawk. And the next time you see him, he's like, I cut my hair. I need to go for a job.
He's like a salary man, he's wearing the suit and everything. Yeah. Yeah, that's...
I'm like, listen. You are a fictional character. You can afford to take a chance. You can afford to be like, yes, I will be a musician. But no. You're sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm going to be a salary man. We are here. We are the real salary men here. We couldn't become musicians. Why are you not becoming a musician? That is the annoying thing about this manga.
Yeah, so basically...
It can be musicians.
Bru uses anime and manga to escape from reality, not face reality. Unfortunately, that's what he had to do while reading this.
I think by the end of this podcast, Bru is going to have a personal vendetta with the author.
I think because I enjoy stuff like this, like films that psychologically destroy you. I enjoy stuff like that. I even enjoy movies like that. I like the experience. Even like how Clockwork Orange and stuff destroyed Bru the same way. I like films and stories and shows that show reality even though it's fictional. I like that because I enjoy it more because I don't see this medium as like a form of escapism as some people do. I'm not saying it's good or bad, I just don't. I like it when it's more real, I would say. And because of that I did enjoy these because it did feel more human, more real and everything than other mangas, even the band story was very relatable, the syrup story like Bru mentioned, and even these small moments. You remember the story where this girl, she was at home, she was bored, she was waiting for the one with the snowman, and then there's this little panel where she's lying down and there's fart, she farts. That's so human. I've never seen anyone show that in a manga, because you're at home, you're sitting, you're bored, you fart if you have to, right? And no one shows those irrelevant moments in the manga, but I think it worked here. And also, you remember this made me think when I was, the one about the dad who was working for the hentai magazine. Have you read that story?
Oh yeah,
okay,
I
it's
remember,
later on. Yeah, so basically he's like, oh, I have a kid. Why am I working on this hentai magazine? It's the same thing like thousands of other hentai magazines. Will it ever become popular? Will it ever become something? I was like, shit. And now I'm going to do a podcast and then thousands of more podcasts. Will it ever matter? Why am I doing this? I was like, fuck. Well, thankfully Bru didn't read that. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be doing this episode. But yeah, dude.
I am checking it out right now.
I actually did enjoy it. And also, I loved Dog Shinigami. Dog Shinigami was an amazing character.
I like the Shinigami characters.
Yeah,
They
very cool. Yeah, Dog
addition,
Shinigami was amazing. But yeah, there were... And the last chapter, Audi. The last chapter begins with, oh, look at this epidemic. Lives are changing, everything has changed. People are not getting jobs.
There,
I'm like... Yo, what the hell? Did this guy predict 2020 for us or something?
Yeah, it is
ends
too
on
fucking
the perfect
relatable
note.
after that. God damn. Everyone is just sitting.
I'm on that chapter about the porn magazine right now.
I see.
That shit
But
was
yeah,
a bit
dude,
too real after
he's
all of
literally
last year. I was like,
predicting
God
corona. Are
damn.
you shitting me?
That's basically what we did last year. We
Yeah.
were just sitting in our room, just looking into our walls,
Yeah.
just watching random shit, passing time
Mm-hmm.
aimlessly. And and
Yeah.
time just fucking flew by like that. And we didn't even realize it, but 1 year flew by. Guys, 1 year
Yeah.
and three
It's
months fucking flew by.
oh,
It's
dude, it
March
hurts. Yeah.
2021. And the pandemic felt like it started yesterday.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude, I had major. You remember yesterday I was having it. I was like, shit, it's
I
been
know,
like
yeah.
almost 2 years after since the pandemic. And I haven't done shit. I haven't improved. I'm just been there, stagnant, and it hurts. But like, I like reading stuff like this, and I think Inio Asano does a really good job at it. I also enjoy reading PunPun a lot. I like reading dark shit.
Yeah, I think
Call
I
me
think I have to
crazy,
get
but
that. I
it's
have to
fun.
get that into
Hmm.
my list. I think I'll read that
Yeah.
next because I like I said, I enjoyed this. I found this sad, so I can only
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah.
You said that he matured with his this thing performance in PunPun.
Yeah, I think he matures a lot more, and like he plays with your emotions a lot better, I would say.
So you know what? I'll take
Uh,
that gamble. I want to see what is this content that broke Brew like crazy, and
yeah,
I'll
it
just
broke Brew for some reason,
yeah,
yeah, but I had a lot of fun.
I'll just read it and see
But
what
yeah,
it's like.
Inyo Asano's amazing. I like his stuff. He has another manga called Solanin, which I haven't read yet.
Solanin.
We may do it later on if Brew recovers from his.
Does he
If Brew's
just do
mental
this?
situation improves.
Does he does
I don't know
this
actually. I've
hyper
only read
reality shit?
PunPun and this.
Sorry.
Seems like it based on what we have read so far, but yeah, I like it's quite different from manga we usually read. You know, I haven't read
I'm
anything
not
similar
sure
to
if
this.
Audi is.
What?
Sorry.
Oh,
What?
I forgot to keep good old Law in my pocket. He was in my pocket, but he just fell down. Sorry. I hope you can see him.
What were you saying?
But yeah, I just don't think Audi has thought about things enough when it comes to these stories, because it seems like he's thinking about them. He's like, oh, what are they trying to say? Okay, done. Because it seems like he's relatively unaffected, and by the way he's talking about it, seems like he's relatively on the surface
Like,
than a deeper.
I just think
look
that it's a
into
very
do you
realistic
want him to like
depiction.
be depressed?
I can see.
Okay.
Okay. Before this podcast started, I wanted to reread it once again just to see like if there was some missed meaning behind it, because I really wanted to understand how large of an emotional impact this had on you, and I wanted to feel for it myself. So I was like, okay, I shall reread this again, and maybe after the podcast, just for shits and giggles, and I'll just read it and see what it can do to me, and then I'll probably read PunPun as well. And it looks like I'm not affected by it, but I did say that yeah, it is a very sad set of stories. It sucks that life is like that, but it is, and
Yeah, like he showed like this little community of
Yeah.
people in this area. Somehow, how like because we live in like like I live in a building, 14 floors. Like don't know anyone. Everyone's living their own lives on every floor and everything, right? And they may all have their different problems and stories and everything, and you never think about that shit.
yeah,
But like this
like you
is
said,
very
like,
interesting because it connects.
because
Yeah.
you said like this thing you would never normally think about people walking on the street who do shit like this, right? Like you would never look at someone and go, maybe that guy is having a shit day today, maybe that guy, I don't know, got dumped or
Yeah,
got
no
kicked
one
out.
cares.
Yeah, well, clearly,
Yeah.
but then after reading this manga, that kind of thinking kind of
No,
set
you
in, and you're
still
like, shit,
don't.
what might
in a
be?
city like Mumbai,
Huh.
in a city like Mumbai, right? Like in any big city, like people don't have time to give a shit about each other.
Yeah, that
Everyone's
is
doing
there.
their own thing. Everyone's busy.
In a way, it's blissful.
like-
It's good that it's that
It's
blissful
not
ignorance. of it.
blissful. It's worse than living in like a small village, where you're someone. You're like you're not important
I guess.
because you're just another cattle in the farm. I would say that's how cities were.
Another brick
Yeah.
in the wall, if it
Exactly.
comes to this, because of mental illness.
And also, Bru, did you read the? Sorry, Adi, what we saying? I wanted to talk about another short story.
No, I
what
wanted
we
to say
saying?
like I think I felt most sad about the ramen dude, the guy who left for his dreams.
About
the old guy.
Oh, the ramen. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah, yeah,
I don't
that
think
was
Brew has
sad.
come across him yet. Have you?
No, no,
No,
no.
he hasn't. Yeah, I think
No,
that's
he
that's
hasn't.
towards the end, like track 17 or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I don't think. Bru, yeah.
I read that story. And
I don't
was
think
like,
Brew has encountered Dog
Yeah.
Shinigami yet
Yeah,
too.
he hasn't.
But I wanted to mention, Brew, did you read the one about the genius kid who was in school?
Yeah.
Yeah, how that was also. I wasn't a genius by far, but
I felt sad
how they
for
talk
the kid,
about
man.
like parents'
Well,
expectations.
let me tell you guys what it was like to be a genius.
My
in
God.
school.
But yeah, I was talking about how we saw, how they gave a perspective of parents' expectations, which is like heavy in India. Like we've all been
Yeah.
facing it throughout our childhood, and probably most still do. And yeah,
Yep.
that also hurt to read that.
Yeah, that hurt to look
But
at.
it was fun.
Yeah, but then they at least showed that the dad started
Yeah, I
to
know.
change
It
towards
was
the
a
end,
nice,
Yeah,
which is
he
sad.
happy
did.
ending of
Yeah.
sorts to it. Yeah.
Happy ending, yeah. But it
I would again not happy as such, but it was
It
a
was an
change.
ending.
It's a change that normally
It was
isn't
an ending, yes.
visible in our society anymore.
And he ends also with like the last thing he ends, the last chapter he also ends with the Sakura metaphor also. You know, the thing where it lasts
Yeah.
for 10 seconds. But yeah, what were you saying, bro? Continue.
What was
You're
I
talking
saying?
about your genius in school or
like,
something.
yeah.
Oh yes, my genius in school. I used to be an absolute genius in school for very specific things. Okay, in math I failed.
Yes.
In science I failed.
Expected.
But when it came to history, specifically the
Oh.
Mughals,
Yeah.
I was a goddamn
yes.
genius. Now, if you guys don't know, the Mughals took over India for an entirety of around like 500 years approximately, and they held India, most of India in that time. Started off with the first Mughal emperor, who then died prematurely, and then gave it out to the
Welcome
second
to
one, his
History
son, who died
101 with Bru.
prematurely.
Yeah. 45 minutes is just going to
They
into
went on
Mughal
to
history.
Akbar, who is the most
Holy
who
shit,
is the
bro.
most famous Mughal emperor in the world, not just in India. And all of these things were taught to us at a basic level. And if anyone had doubts, the teachers would call me to come and tell them the answer because I was that obsessed with it. In fact, at one time, I was called from another class to the teachers, to the history teacher's class, and I thought I was in trouble because we had to submit notebooks, and I thought there was something wrong with mine. And then she makes me stand in front of the class. I'm like, I am screwed. I'm sure she's going to murder me right here. And then she's like, yeah, so Humayun's son, what is his name, and what is the guy before Akbar? I'm like, let me school you little kids. Actually, they're actually an older batch, so it's not like they were. But I was like, let me school you little kids and this little teacher. Come on, sit around me. I shall teach you. And, just cocky stuff. Just me being me. And that sort of stuff I was really good at. And then, life hit. It became of no use. All that knowledge was just like, nobody cares. Suddenly it turned out knowing math was important. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to learn math. I became good at math over a long time. And then suddenly it's like, nobody cares.
Doesn't matter.
That's what the story teaches you. Is that no matter what you do, it doesn't matter in the end. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do.
Yes.
Whether it's maths, whether it's English, whether it's... Like right now I'm doing English. I'm writing and I'm working with designers to work in advertising, and Sid's doing animation, Noddy's doing animation, but at the end, none of these things matter. You could be a genius at all this.
Nothing matters.
You could be remembered for centuries, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be forgotten one day. Nothing is permanent.
In the rare
Yeah.
case, if that genius is cultivated.
And forcing someone to do something, even if they're really good at it, is going to be something bad because that person can't live their life, and after their life, they're going to be forgotten anyway. So does it really excuse the fact that you're destroying their life to give them a future that you think they deserve?
Does it? Answer.
Anyone who has come to this point probably has had their mind crushed by all the reality of the
Yes,
whole
it's
manga.
okay. Brew has
And
issues.
isn't that the same thing that happens with your parents as well? Your parents try to define your life based on what they think, and they try to give you a future which they think is the best, irrespective of whether your future is good or not, because they think their future is exactly what you need. While their future might give you stability, might give you money, might give you X, Y, and Z that you need to live life, your future will give you happiness if you can, even if you're poor. And if you don't have
Yeah.
that fancy new TV or that fancy new car or that fancy new whatever the fuck it is that you like,
Yeah, like
You're still gonna be happy.
like I'm gonna take it back, bro. Remember, like in the early days, right? We used to like actually have like dreams, like what do they call it? Moonshots, whatever. When you aim, when you have like really crazy dreams.
Moonshot sounds either
Yeah,
sexual
yeah.
or sounds like a drink. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
you've
what
forgotten
Somewhere in
then.
the
Yeah,
middle.
but basically it's like these, like you have really crazy dreams as kids, and we had a lot of that, right? We tried to do crazy shit, and like we had this excitement of we can do whatever the fuck we want. Let's try random shit. We tried like so much shit without caring about restrictions or anything, right?
That is true.
And like as you grow up and you get fucked in the ass by the world, all that shit goes away. You're just like, fuck, let me just live happily. Let me just be mentally satisfied.
Does it though? Does it? Because this podcast rose up from us saying,
Yeah,
let's
it
do whatever
does.
the fuck
No,
we want.
of course, I still have my dreams and everything, my goals with animation and everything. And this podcast is something we started during in the middle of the pandemic when we were all mentally fucked.
And we can't get to the point we want to get to without you guys. So please
Yes.
subscribe, share,
My God, what a
comment,
way
like.
to
It
start.
helps us out
fucking
completely.
hour and a half. Okay, nice.
Go to our Instagram, comment,
Yeah.
like over there, follow. TikTok, follow,
Yes.
like. If you hate us, just tell us you hate us. That's
Yeah,
fine.
Bru will
We just need the
accept it,
algorithm
yeah.
to think that we're...
No, but yeah, it does fuck you up later on, like, But we still have hopes, we still have dreams, we still want to do things. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I
Let's
think
see how
if you're
it
not
goes. At
broken
least
by
me.
it and you still have like an idea of what
Yeah,
you want to
I'm
do,
still
then
I'm still
then you kind of
surviving
keep
somehow.
your sanity to some extent.
Yeah.
But if you get broken
Yeah.
by the cycle, then that's where you had it, and you can't recover from that shit. I mean,
That's not true. I can recover anytime. I want.
this is like the last episode
Yeah.
where you said something about false bravado, and we were discussing how that's not going to happen at all.
Interesting.
I do not recall.
I do
saying
not
anything
recall
about
this
false
either,
bravado.
but then I
Yeah,
can't remember
somewhere
anything.
in the middle of the
Continue.
podcast. Yes.
Audi is just trying to trick both of us because we're in the middle of a podcast. That won't work. Don't worry, guys. We won't let you fall for it.
But even
either.
this thing,
From now
yeah.
on, from this point onwards, in the edit, Audi is going to be muted. So anyway,
I can't
Sid,
talk. Yes.
what were
Yeah,
you
I was saying
No, kidding, Audi. I'm not going to mute you. Don't worry.
the thing we talked about with life and all this thing, right, where people get frustrated and they're like, holy shit, fuck this, I just want to like be happy and settle down and stuff. People say that. I still haven't reached that point yet because I know people who have like said that and who have committed to it. They have a chapter that also shows that shit towards
Yeah.
the end. I think it's the third last chapter or the second last chapter, where it's like this company worker who's like just bored and he just wants to like be happy and settle down with life. And I have experienced that like in a lot of people, some friends, a lot like who used to be different, but now they've just been fucked and they're like, I just want to work,
I can't-
get money, and
Sid's way
save.
of
Can't
throwing-
recall this chapter.
Throwing shade at me right
No,
now.
it's not you.
I
I,
think it's
would
more
call
like
you out if
himself
it was
than-
you.
yeah.
It's not you yet. You are going down that path, but you haven't hit bottom yet.
My apologies, guys. Sid shall be muted from this point on.
So
Yeah,
this
I don't
podcast
care.
is
I'll
only
still
Brew,
say
yes.
what I. See, they can't hear me, but you can hear me, and that's what's important. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Which I enjoyed reading again. Yeah, but it was fun. Also, we were talking about this earlier today, Bru. The episode with he has some fucked up story, like the episode with like the gangster with the teddy bear. This thing. Do you remember that one?
The fucking the terrorist.
Yeah, Audi, yeah. Do you remember that
Yeah.
one?
I remember
That one was.
I don't
was-
understand why the costume. I'm assuming, well, obviously to conceal his identity, but why that costume in particular? And the one
Why is Batman a bat?
something about a fear of bats. I'm not sure. But
So maybe this guy had a fear of
Yeah.
well,
bats.
he was imitating one, but I don't think he. I think anyone would be afraid of a bear if they were up close with one.
And maybe he wanted to scare people. He was like, yo,
That was a pretty.
I'm a bear.
He did
You
That was
don't
a
wanna
pretty.
mess with me, I'm a
I
bear.
don't think that was scary.
Yeah, he did a pretty piss poor job of scaring people because he couldn't scare a.
It was like a
abducted
cute
10-year-old
teddy bear
girl.
doll
Yeah.
face.
He was
A
like,
10-year
"Rawr,"
a
and the
girl
girl
with
was like, "Yep,
depression
well,
was
yeah,
just like, oh shit, yeah, I'm scared of that right now. What I see, horror.
And she asked him to kill her after the whole mission was over. So
For people
she
who are
kind-
listening, please don't watch the video on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
How do you continue?
Yeah, but she basically lost hope. So yeah, the bear costume was a bit
Yeah,
off.
that was harsh. Like her story also was harsh
Yeah.
of her in school,
I don't even know if Audie has seen this.
No.
Bro, no one can hear you.
Audie,
No.
can you see this?
It's very difficult to hear you with that
For
mask
those who
on.
don't know, I'm not on the same. I can't see their
Yeah.
screens.
Audie, look at my.
He can't see. He can't see. Audie is wearing the Gero
God damn
mask. But right
Oh,
now.
he's wearing. Oh my God, he's wearing the fucking frog mask.
That's
Oh.
why I said you should watch
Okay,
the video.
speaking
Yeah,
of speaking of fucking frog, that criminal that got out of the car to shoot the bear, the gangsters, the guy who looked like a loan shark,
Yeah.
he reminded me of a cursed frog for some reason. I don't know why.
What are you guys talking about? It was me
There
all
was
the
a
time. man.
frog.
I don't know what you're
There-
saying.
there was a
the
frog.
story
There
with
was a
the
frog.
that
But I'm
girl.
talking about
Yeah.
that criminal specifically. That
I
weirdly
think I
drawn
understand.
face.
Mhm.
It's just haunting
Yeah.
for some reason, and I don't know why.
It was froggy.
Yeah, it was very froggy. Those eyes jutting out like that. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not. That may be a criminal, but fuck that. I'm not dealing with that shit.
Yeah, but I enjoy how he draws characters. I actually was watching something about him, like a part of his process.
Yeah.
For some backgrounds, I saw like he actually goes around, takes like actual photos of like backgrounds, renders them in like drawing, and then he adds his own details on them to make them more like manga. I've seen him do that because a lot of mangakas like use like Makoto Shinkai. You see, anime uses like real life references,
Yeah.
rotoscopy, and a lot of mangakas also like create backgrounds in 3D and use like they use like black and white versions of live photos and stuff. So this guy does take real references and like photos, and he has like these like like I was seeing he's drawing like this river bank kind of thing with like rocks and grass, and he's in there for like 1-2 hours just adding like small details, these lines. Like it's fucking crazy the amount of time he puts into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
drawing
did-
drawing is something to
Yeah, but I did enjoy it.
grasp in. Like
Odi,
crazy.
you haven't talked about what shots caught your attention or what
Audie
affected
hasn't
you.
talked about
What?
Yeah, Odi,
anything.
talk about the shots that affect. Like, what shots did you like the most? What short stories from this stood out to you?
I like the ramen. Well, the ramen one sort of affected me quite a bit. I kind of felt bad for both of them. One went sought out for his dreams, and kind of left the other brother in in the process of managing the shop. But then in that process, both of them got kind of fucked each other over. He basically went out for his dream and fucked over his brother and himself, and he was reduced down to
Yeah.
a basic shit ramen shop. And who knows, maybe that wouldn't have happened even if they were together, but maybe it was their destiny and shit. And even though I don't believe in that shit, but it was kind of sad to see that, all that time,
It's
all that
real.
effort
It
spent,
happens.
these guys
Yeah.
were 60 years old, they were on their last breaths, and they were like, fuck. They
Yeah, that does
amounted up to
happen. It
nothing.
sucks,
It
yeah.
sucks to look at it like that. And
That is the reality.
Yes, I too have read.
There are lots of
Yeah, you
people.
get
it, guys.
There are lots of people who do something for years and years and they get nowhere. They're just stuck there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
like
Hey, don't call out Audie like that, okay?
but yeah, I understand.
Like
yeah.
we look
What
at
else?
big artists and think, they're up there right now, and we can get up to them as well. But
Yeah.
then we don't realize that we are on the same. We can just be easily discarded off that same path that we are on, and we'll just go
There are
off
lots
and just be
on the same
stagnant,
journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a
There are lots on the same
it's
journey,
harsh to
and
kind
not
of
everyone will
face
make it.
in manga
Yeah,
form
that's
of all
harsh.
things.
Hmm.
The crow from the second shot, the bike.
Yes.
I don't know
Crow
why.
Shinigami, yes.
Okay, like at the time, I thought the crow was like a form of the girl's depression, sort of. She was sort of visualizing it as her own depression, and she was like, why are you here? Don't bother me like this. And she was kind of thinking about her actions. She was kind of thinking about why the crow existed in the first place, and when the crow started talking, like maybe the crow is her depression. Who knows? Maybe. And I mean, she jumped in front of a fucking truck after that. So you kind of, and I thought like, that's definitely a depression. She wants to die at this young an age. Something's not right. Then she goes up to the hill, and there is that
Yeah.
one panel at the bottom where she stares to the asshole girl as titled in the page. I think it's the asshole.
Stairs where?
Oh no, not asshole girl.
Asshole? What?
The bully girl, I think. The bully girl.
Oh, I'm like, which asshole is she looking at? You're talking about the bully, yeah? Okay,
Okay, there is an alcoholic
Like, what
girl,
the
and I
hell is
thought I
Audie
read
reading,
asshole
bro?
girl. Hey, what the fuck is that shit? Okay.
Hey, the alcoholic story was that was like later on. It was like the fourth last or fifth last. This is the crow story is the second short
Yeah,
story,
yeah.
the one where she jumps off after
But,
cycling,
but
right,
like
bro?
there was a panel where the Shinigami
Yeah.
crow was sitting behind on the fence, just with this
Yeah,
weird
the
two
Shinigami
eyes.
crow comes again
Yeah,
in the
there's
end.
just these two
Yeah.
weird eyes just staring back at you, and I'm like, this guy really got to her in the end, and she kind of gave up all hope and was like, fuck it, you know what, I'm going for this shit. And her last wish was to just roll off a hill and hopefully die, but then she caught hold of the Shinigami and vouched for a miracle instead.
Well, that was more of a metaphor, like how they showed death here. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
they showed syrup
Yeah,
flying and
uh-huh.
they showed her grab. That's not, she really didn't hold on to the crow to save herself. She actually fell, and that's why she was in the
Yeah, I
hospital.
know, like, obviously. But then later on, I kind of realized the connection because it is an actual Shinigami. Like, I thought they were just fucking around with the girl saying, like, oh, it's a Shinigami
Well,
over
it's
there.
not an actual Shinigami. I don't know.
Is it? I mean, isn't it?
Brew, can you take over and explain it to Audi?
Okay. Doesn't need explanation.
Yeah, Brew is just looking confused at what Audi is saying right now.
What do I?
I don't know how to.
I
Yeah, even I don't know what to tell
what are
him.
you
Yeah.
saying?
What?
You're so confusing. What are you trying to
I
say?
thought the crow was a form of her depression at the beginning, but then later on, towards the end of the manga, it was a Shinigami of sorts. Or is there
No,
a deeper
but you're
meaning
saying
behind it?
you thought she actually held on to it to save
No,
herself.
no. Like, obviously, it was a metaphor. I kind of realized that later on because the talking crows didn't exist in real life. But then,
Well, well, surprise, surprise.
well, I th- well,
But
she
yeah,
lived
what were
out.
you saying?
She lived by way of a miracle, and later on, it was shown that these guys were just going around. I didn't understand the whole Shinigami concept that much. I just kind of felt sad for the people in the whole across the whole manga. That's all.
No, the Shinigami is like the metaphor, the Shinigami and the crow or the dog or whatever that comes later. It is the this of their mental state, where they're thinking about death and everything, and it will come because they did show those characters go through that, and like at that point, that girl, she was ready literally to kill herself. She wanted to go down the hill till she fell off it, right? She wasn't going to stop. So that over there was that it technically was an indication, but in the end, she, even though she thought she would die towards the end, she, like, the act of her, like, I think like catching
onto
the
the
crow was
crow,
her
yeah.
basically telling death, like, not yet,
yet,
like, that was what they were trying to show, and then that's why she was still alive in this thing. But yeah, in real life she probably fell and almost died.
Yeah.
But even later on, like the one with the truck, right, where she jumps in to save where the guy jumps in to save the kid, right,
Huh.
and then he dies, and he was like, because he wanted to die, that's he was seeing the Shinigami dog all along, right, and he was thinking about it, and then he saw the kid in front of the truck, and he's like, oh, this is my chance, I can finally die, I can save a kid and die, this is the way I'll go. That's what he was thinking, right? But in the end, they showed him still having this to live, so
The will to
he,
live, yeah. And
he
she
didn't
kind
die
of
in the end. The
took
kid
mercy on him.
escaped and he didn't die. Yeah, exactly. He couldn't go out that way. If you understood what I was trying to say.
Well,
I
I
don't know.
understood. It was a very basic description. I just had a misconception about the whole crow thing at the beginning, and then later on I understood it.
But yeah,
Well, that seems to be all our main talking points right now. Unless anyone has anything else to add.
I think
to this, because I don't. It was depressing.
I said everything I could.
Yeah.
Check it out. Cool. Yeah.
Audi, anything else you want to
Nothing
add?
yet. Probably when we do our PunPun episode, I'll be
Nothing
like,
yet.
Maybe.
I don't think that's coming anytime soon based on Bruce's mental
Yes,
state.
Yeah.
please.
But-
If we do PunPun after Subarashii Sekai, this podcast will be run by
Yeah.
Audi, because Brew will be there. Brain will overfry, and PunPun will eat his soul. So there is no way of getting me back using any of anime's traditional resurrection
Yes.
methods, because my soul and my
Yes.
physical body are not going to be
Or
there.
they will just actively reject any advances
Yes.
towards you. They'll be like, nah, it's fine. Not happening
Yeah.
today. Mm-mm.
Like, all the main anime protagonists come together and they're like, we should save Bruce's soul, and they see PunPun over there, and PunPun is just like, he's mine, and they're all like, cool boy, we ain't fucking with you. Nope.
Bye.
We don't want to end up behind you. We stay on this side. Oops, too bad. We lost one fan. It's okay. We have millions of other fans. We're cool with that. Cool. I go. But yeah, that's it for this episode of Subarashii Sekai.
Yeah.
And please don't confuse it with Konosuba, because that's what Google seems to do.
Or with
It is
the
a
Louis Armstrong
completely
song.
Different. Yeah, or with the Louis Armstrong, what Sid
you
does,
search up the English
it is
version,
a completely different thing. There are three completely different things. Konosuba,
Type
fun,
Asano after
perverted,
you
weird.
Type Subarashii Sekai. That kind of gets it.
So what a wonderful world. Louis Armstrong, deep voice, very nice song. And then there is
Amazing,
this, which makes
fun,
you want to kill yourself.
beautiful. Oh, sorry, that you said something else. But
I
yeah,
got the two things
Yeah,
around.
Sid's on a delay, so he's explaining the previous ones that I was mentioning. But yeah, that's it for this episode. We are going to be back next episode. We're actually going to have a few fun formats again. I'm reminding
Yes.
you. Now that we have time, we're going to have one, which is Nandemo, where we're going to be talking about any thoughts we have about life in general. Two, we're going to have Minute 101, where we take a minute to explain one show and we should really recommend whether you should watch it or not. 3, we have Opinionated, where we give you our opinion about our current manga or anime that we're consuming. 4, we have Hot Potato, and Hot Potato is a format where we basically take a shit on whatever you like the most,
Yeah.
or you can take a shit on
Yes.
us for what we like the most, which is something which is going to come out this week. So keep an eye out. And we have, God damn it.
we have other shows. Just check them out on our live
Yes,
channel.
other
Big if
shows.
true.
We have Big If True, our own news channel where I talk like
Yes.
this. But yes, that's our news channel. That's pretty much all our this things right here. It is quite fun.
Yeah.
We have fun making it. It seems people have fun looking at it. One little kid seemed to have a lot of fun shitting on me for saying subscribe on TikTok. So you could be that little kid next time. And also we're trying, this is not something we're guaranteeing. It's not something we're going to continue as a series, but we are also trying to put in 10 to 20 second max skits just randomly through the week. We might put it at odd times. It's
Maybe-
just for more content.
Maybe once
that
a month.
We think
yeah,
will go out.
maybe once a month, maybe once a year. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe once
Yeah.
a day, maybe once a week,
Yeah.
maybe once a month, maybe once a
Yeah,
year, maybe,
maybe
never.
never.
But it's going to be once a day probably. I don't know. Let's see. It's just random.
No pressure.
Random
Yeah, useless stuff.
where we feel like doing it, where there's going to be no production quality.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying there's great production quality for our usual videos, but there's going to be absolutely no production quality. It's going to be shot with the phone. It's going to be shot by
Just
one
our
person.
phones and
either
imagination.
using a selfie camera or just setting up a camera
Yeah.
somewhere and shooting it. It's more of humor than anything else. So look out for that. And that's all our new stuff that we have. We might also get a new website, but we're not sure about it yet. It's going to take
Gonna
a while.
take a while. Yes.
But we'll give you more updates as time goes on. I don't know if anyone listens to updates at the end. That's why I said it at the start, but I gave a more explained
Version. Yeah.
version at the end. Anyway, that's it for this episode. That's it
Yes,
for all
yes.
the updates. Sid, what are we going to talk about
So,
next week?
Next week, since this week affected Brew quite a lot, he was on the down, as you heard it throughout this manga. Time to get back to cheerful Brew again. You know,
Yes.
have a nice fun episode. Next week. So, for next week, we are going back. We're gonna hit the nostalgia bell. We're gonna do Get Backers. Yes. We're gonna be talking about Get Backers next week.
Oh!
As you see, Brew is automatically happy again. You can see his face right now.
Okay, guys, welcome back to Weeb101. Today we're doing Get Backers. Sid, what is your...
So yeah.
I am a huge fan of the
Yes,
Get Backers.
Get Backers
and
is a
glasses
classic.
Broke again. Well, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Get Backers. I actually got introduced to Get Backers along with Death Note at the same time, and I absolutely loved both. And Get Backers is one of my earliest anime aside from Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. So I am very excited to check it out again. I remember it being hype,
Yes,
like
me too.
crazy.
It was
And
amazing.
I remember it having crazy action, and I remember it not continuing after one of the most hype moments of the series. So I hope they did
Yeah.
continue it. I hope there is a lot
I
more
hope.
to read than I remember. And,
And-
I'm excited for.
And dude, Audie is
week,
so
for
lucky
sure.
to be watching Get Backers for the first time. I'm jealous. Yeah.
Yes, he's going to be watching it for the first time. I'm
You
very
Yeah.
jealous of
boys
Audie
watched
because
it
that
or
is
read it?
An amazing show to watch for the first
And
time.
we may sing Ichibuno refrain live on the podcast depending on how things go.
Yes. Yes. Not depending on how things go, we are doing
Okay.
it. The three of us are going to be
Yes.
singing Ichibiono refrain
Yes,
together.
that's
In fact, I'm going to say bye now so that we can go listen to
Yes,
the song
yes.
right away.
let's do that.
That's it. That's Audie. We're going Get Backers next week.
That'll
Woo!
be
Damn.
good shit.
And now,
Yeah.
Real excited. Okay.
goodbye.
Goodbye. Stop it.
Get Backers next week.